Moving now to the UK, British Prime Minister Theresa May is announcing she will start the Brexit process before the end of March. She will officially trigger Article 50 of the EU's Lisbon Treaty then, which will give her up to 2 years to negotiate Britain's departure from the 28-member bloc. Later today, May is expected to give more details in a speech to the Conservative Party in Birmingham. She has already announced what she called a Great Repeal bill to end the authority of EU law once Britain leaves the Union. Joining me via Skype is our reporter in London, Jonathan Sacerdoti. Jonathan, thanks for joining me. Theresa May did not support Brexit, but she is making good on her promise to implement it rather quickly.
That's right, Jordana. Theresa May has said many times since she became Prime Minister that Brexit means Brexit. That's confused most people because nobody knows what Brexit means. So during this Conservative Party conference, she's hoping to try and clarify things a bit more, but not that much. She's said also throughout that she doesn't believe in giving a running commentary on the plans and negotiations as they take place because she believes that'll weaken Britain's position in those negotiations. So what she's going to do now is announce this Great Repeal Act, which will see all of the EU law that currently overrides British law and takes force in this country transposed into the British law, into British law books, so that the law will actually remain identical, but, and this is the important thing she says, the British Parliament regain sovereignty and be able to repeal and alter those laws in the future. Now, she's announcing that today, but that won't actually happen until Britain finally leaves the EU. So that'll be a full 2 years after the triggering of Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, which she has now announced also will take place before the end of March next year. So these are two big announcements, but neither of them particularly unexpected, both things that just had to happen if Britain was to leave the European Union.
And everyone has said this won't be a pretty divorce, per se. I mean, a lot of details, probably a lot of fights are going to go on.
So Theresa May also said today in her television interview here in the UK that she believes that the secret to the negotiation will be that Britain needs to get the best possible deal for Britain, but also that Britain relies on there being a strong European Union after Britain leaves that group of countries. So she doesn't want it to be an ugly fight. Undoubtedly, there will be disagreements along the way, and the way in which the negotiations take place after she triggers Article 50 is in part down to the other European nations who then respond to the triggering of Article 50. So she's playing a complicated game now to try to be tough about getting what Britain needs from the negotiations, but also not upsetting the rest of the European nations so that Britain can continue to have good trade relations, in particular with the rest of the European Union. And that will be what she will ultimately be judged on in the next general election, whether that comes before 2020 or in 2020 when she insists it will be.
Thank you so much. Great reporting from our reporter there in London, Jonathan Sacerdoti.